Hello, everyone. Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Dr. Whimsy Anderson. I'm a naturopathic doctor and an anthropologist. And so, in addition to that, I'm also a tarot card reader. And today, we're going to be doing tarot cards, looking a little bit at the future of the country, looking a little bit at the planet, and how you can prepare for what's coming, what's happening energetically in the next couple of weeks. We're going to just bring it in for all of you. I know that many of you are excited and concerned about the future. We have a lot going on. We have a change in presidency. We hopefully have peace happening in the Middle East as they move towards finally seeing an end to the conflict, hopefully with Gaza. We're also looking forward, hopefully, to the end of the Ukraine war in 2025, as it looks like Russia may not be able to financially afford to keep going with that war. Some of the other things that we get to look forward to in 2025, we're going to see huge advancements in artificial intelligence, sciences, medicine, education. Really, it's a great year for innovation and science, and I believe it's a year when we will finally see an end to the Ukraine conflict, and probably, even though there's more fights that are going to happen, more tensions in the Middle East, I think we will eventually see peace in that area as well through the Abraham Accords. All right, but today I want to bring things home a little bit. I want to talk about you. You're the most important person in the world to me. It's how can we empower you? How can you be prepared for this year, whether it's spiritually, financially, emotionally, in terms of your relationships? So we're going to do the empath's prayer, and together we're going to take a look at the world and see what's coming and how you can empower yourself and make the right decisions going forward. So let's all take a breath, come together, and let's do the empath's prayer, shall we? Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic Records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively as a community, we come together and we say, Amen, and may all souls be healed. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and just do one massive reading, and we're going to see what we find for the coming weeks, and just have it be more focused on the individual. What do we see for you? What do we see for the individual? Get past politics and instead just focus on the spirituality and the challenges of being human in 2025. What do we have to look forward to? It's not all party politics, right? Sometimes it's about us, the individual, and how we can contribute to the common good. If you haven't had a chance to share, like, and subscribe to this stream, I would be forever grateful, as it helps build my channel as we boldly go forward to try to get to 100K. Anyway, let's go ahead and let's take a look at these cards. I'm excited, and I hope you're excited for 2025 as well. I am optimistic about the future. I believe we will see peace in our lifetime. I believe it is bigger than a single president or a single individual. And I think it's because we, the collective, have made that choice. Humans are good. This is the thing that I would say to those of you who are skeptical. I would say to you that humans are unbelievably compassionate, loving creatures. Yes, there are certain people, 4% of the population, that have personality disorders, and they can do a lot of damage, that 4%. The average perpetrator will have 150 victims in their lifetime, right? So we can become jaded by such individuals, but we have to remind ourselves that people with personality disorders, abusive and cruel people, only make up about 4% of the general population. If you're talking about, cluster B, the rest of us are really nice people. So for that reason, it's important for us to remind ourselves that the core of human beings is divine, that we come from divine source, and that if you believe in a higher being, in the eternal goodness of that being that we all hold a spark of, then the core nature of human beings is to do good. So for that reason, despite all of our imperfections and all the difficulties that come and go, eventually human beings will right their way. We will leave the tyrant. We will pursue the good, because the core nature of human beings, for the most part, is good. We'll be seduced temporarily, we'll be lied to, we'll be cheated, we'll be defrauded by the bad people of the world, but we'll come out of it, we'll snap out of it. We always do. And when we do, we grow, we learn, and we push our society forward as a result of that, as a result of those challenges, right? The base of the matter for the world at this time is a sense of just confusion, a sense that we are confused, we don't know what's happening, we have no faith in the news anymore. We present as the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is a world filled with turmoil and confusion and far too many choices, and many of us simply don't know what choice to make. The karma for humanity at this time, for you and me and everyone else, is that we have entered a time in our history where we must be willing to let things go. You may find that you're leaving your house, your job, your career, everything you thought wants to find you as a human being is gone. It's changing, it's ending, and that's a good thing. And so you may find yourself wondering, who the hell am I? And that's because your karma card, what you are destined, and I and everyone else in this spiritual experience right now is experiencing the Nine of Cups. This is your karma, my karma. This is the karma of humanity. Moving away from possessions, moving away from a desire for money and things. We walk away from it all in order to pursue something greater. And so I think America is becoming, and many countries are becoming, a lot less materialistic, in the sense that what we want for ourselves is now something that cannot be satisfied by simply handing a check. Yes, money is important. We need money to do basic things, but our power isn't in money. You look at somebody like Mother Teresa or Mahatma Gandhi, they did not have money, but they had power because they knew the essence of their existence. They knew why they were created. They knew what their function was, and they were willing to give up everything in order to pursue it. That is the greater purpose of 2025. Not to be harassed by crazy people in politics. Regardless, I don't care what your politics are. I want you to connect with your own humanity and go and pursue the true nature of your existence and come out of this confusion. I don't care who you voted for. I care about your humanity. We who hear this message, those of us who are called to see this message, are at the point in our existence right now which is typified by the archetype of the Queen of Swords. But who is the Queen of Swords? What is her function in the world? The function of the Queen of Swords is to put the past behind you. Think about the dynamics of the cards that are coming in for us right now, energetically. We have a world in chaos and confusion. We have people leaving everything. They're going back to the garden. They're leaving their jobs. They're leaving their home. Maybe they've gone wandering. Maybe they've gotten into a car. Their family thinks they're crazy and they've decided to see America. Maybe they sold it all and moved to Mexico. There are things in this world that you cannot take with you. The Queen of Swords puts the past behind her and she goes forward bravely into the unknown. She is a stoic. It is a time for stoicism. You cannot change the past. It is done. It is dusted. If you were betrayed, harmed, if others could not measure up to what you needed from them, you're over it. Queen of Swords is over it. She has left everything. She has left the chaos of the situation, and now she goes forward. What is the crossing of this time period? What are we being asked to do energetically in 2025? The Lovers. We must reach across the aisle and speak to people who may see the world entirely differently than we do, and remain humble to the possibility that others can teach us something, even people who may view the world entirely different than we do. Lovers is about cooperation, inclusiveness. It's about looking to something higher than yourself. The woman in Lovers is looking up to God. She raises her head to the heavens, and he sees her beauty. She is beautiful because she is divine. She is beautiful because she is one with God. And that transcends race, religion, politics. Her interconnectedness woven into something greater than herself as she gazes up and surrenders to that thing which is greater than herself is what captures him. That's Lovers. And so we don't have to be rude and abusive. We don't have to be mean girls and mean boys. We don't have to engage in petty debates, throwing rocks at each other simply because the other doesn't see the world the way we do. And we don't have to give up our convictions and our values simply because we're willing to break bread with other people. These are the values we teach our children when they go to nursery school. And these are the values we need to retain as adults. What is above us represents the energy that is coming to all of us at this time. It is in the heavens. It's fomenting. It is swirling around us as a potential, these energies. And that energy is poverty. What is above us is poverty. Lack of rainfall, drought, loss of crops due to global warming, economic strife due to lost jobs, replaced by artificial intelligence, people being phased out of their jobs. We are hovering at a point where we could see massive layoffs and loss of jobs in the future. Above us, poverty and exile. We are leaving. We fear poverty. But is poverty real? I mean, are we really going to poverty? Is that really what's happening? Or are we just afraid of poverty? You know, that's ultimately the question. It's something that foments. We certainly have the opportunity to enter into a place of poverty because Global warming causes a loss of crops. War causes a problem with trade. Sanctions cause inflation. Tariffs cause inflation. And all of these things can accumulate. So what we see swirling in the heavens is this fear of poverty. What we are sitting in, what we marinate in, the thing that we fester. You know, when you think about the third house, I want to make sure you guys can see this. I'm trying to, maybe I can drop this down a little bit. But the third house, I've always thought of the third house. I'm going to just move this around so you all can see me a little bit better. I've always thought, oh, that's much better. There we go. I've always thought of the third house as being what we marinate, you know, and other students, or pardon me, other teachers of the Tarot have talked about this third house that is so important when we look at a Celtic cross. But I do my Celtic crosses, they're much more in-depth than an average Celtic cross because I always take 2 cards from the bottom, a base and then the karma card, which used to be used, and then people stopped using it. People come back to taking an 11th card because it's so vital to your reading. But what the King of Cups is doing is he is what you're sitting in and marinating in. And I'll tell you, King of Cups, the fact that humanity, the world, is sitting in this King of Cups tells me we want peace. We want peace because the King of Cups sits on troubled waters. Look at how rocky that water is. It's a storm brewing. But look at how stable the King of Cups is. King Cups often associate with emotions. It's how we are holding up emotionally. And what I see in this reading for humanity is just a deep desire to be the bridge over troubled water and to move away from all this damn fighting. It is not helping us, and it is not helping us avoid poverty. We've got to come together. The past placement for all of us at this time is that we are on a journey. The Page of Wands is a pilgrim's card, and he begins the pilgrimage. And so many people, you know, you look at these cards and it's like a pilgrimage. Person gets confused, they leave everything, they go on a journey. The person in the past, this is a past situation. You must have come up out of something that caused you to leave everything, and then you got to start all over again, right? So then you become like this newborn Aries. Page of Wands is the Aries child. In terms of which archangel is associated, it's Uriel, which is similar in the Shoresh, the root in Hebrew, to Ariel, which in Hebrew is the lion of Judah, and Archangel Uriel are connected. And we can see the beautiful design on that pilgrim of the chameleon who's being transformed. The willingness of the chameleon to be changed for the better. I am willing to be changed, even if I no longer recognize my new self. I have been changed. I have been changed for the better. I have left everything and gone forward into the bold future, the unknown future, which brings with it strife and fear of poverty, fear of losing everything, including home, including the things that give us stability. This deep desire for peace, reconciling, and reaching across to communicate with people. No one's perfect, including you, me, and anybody else. We all fall short. We all make mistakes, and sometimes we're misguided. Good people, and the majority of us are good, can be misguided, but their motivations, we have to look to people's motivations and find that thread that connects us as human beings. The near future is that we anticipate the future comes very quickly. The Eight of Wands would imply that there are major changes happening in the world right now, and we have to be prepared for them. This can also be a card of strife as people fight to have their voices heard. Everybody wants to have their voices heard. So we see this tension, the Eight of Wands, the strife and the passion and the rapid change. So everyone's life is about to change. It's about to change quickly. Can we put aside our differences, leave behind the materialism and the things that didn't matter, and go to something greater? That is what these cards are saying to me. The seventh house is an interesting house. The seventh house is the immediate environment that we may find ourselves in. And our immediate environment is that of mercy and justice. The Six of Pentacles is to balance things that have been unjust. We will see this year a righting of wrongs. We will see fairness. We will see those who are vulnerable cared for. If government programs are cut, people will come together and they will find new programs. But the trajectory, the arc, is justice. If you look at the Six of Pentacles, you see that the scale of justice is balanced, and those who are deserving receive that which they need. And this is the immediate environment. No human being will take away our humanity, because our humanity is a fundamental part of who we are, and we will take care of those who deserve to be taken care of, regardless of who's in power. In terms of the opposition, I think the opposition would be anybody who is not not committed to the good, not committed to the greater good of humanity. That would be the opposition to me. And so the opposition may be people with personality disorders, people who just want to hurt, destroy. They don't want to be part of the greater good. And so we have this Four of Swords, which is an inactivity. This is a deep meditation. It's to be as still as death. This is quite auspicious. It would mean that we may find ourselves in a position going forward where justice reigns and opposition, there isn't much opposition here. The other thing I would say is that Five of Pentacles can also be a positive card. Even though it speaks of poverty, it speaks of people trying to get out of poverty by finding solutions. How do we get back into the church? How do we get back to our spirituality, get into that beautiful lit church, and get out of this damn cold? So it's also a desire to recognize it and try and find solutions. The hope and the fear at this time for the world is a need to fight, to defend that which we hold on to, that which we hold dear, and also the existential crisis of saving the planet. Seven of Wands is the water protector, the defender of the land. It is that collective energy that comes together when we fight. We stand on the top of that mountain and we fight against the critics for that which we believe is near and dear to our heart. And the final outcome for the world in 2025 and what we have to prepare for is this is going to be okay. Do not fret over things that will resolve themselves. Know that the final outcome is the Six of Swords. Despite the imperfect people that are working towards, for example, a ceasefire in Ukraine or a ceasefire in Gaza, regardless of how many people are involved that you may not like, the arc is towards justice and mercy. This is a wonderful card in the sense that you can see in the background they are leaving some rough waters, and you can see they're headed towards smooth, glassy waters. Swords traditionally have been thought of as determining a year. A a sword stands as a 1-year time zone, like a time period. So the prediction here is that for many years to come, lay smooth waters for the world. We're going to do a clarification now, but basically the takeaway here is leave everything that does not support you spiritually, pursue that which is greater, seek being the person that can mediate peace, reach across the aisle and understand that by doing so and being kind, it doesn't mean you have to compromise your own beliefs. Find ways to come out of the poverty and fear of exile by working together. Cooperation towards justice will lead to smoother waters in the future. We must be firm in our convictions and disciplined. Remember, we are all called to master something, whether it's being a good parent or being a good writer or artist, or just being a good friend. Mastery is what every person is given in their gift basket when they enter Earth. Choose one thing and do it well. Maybe it's the violin. Maybe it's being a great naturopathic doctor. Whatever your calling is, choose just one thing that is aligned with your values and your desires and master it. There is a spiritual process that takes place, a metaphysical process that takes place when we pursue mastery. And we are all asked to become masters and give this mastery back to the world. The final outcome for us is a very, very deep card. It is the powerful Four of Pentacles. I love this card. The Four of Pentacles has been known as the frugality card because he is holding on to his coin, but there's so much more to this card than frugality. Behind the frugal card, you can see the kingdom of heaven. And he holds one of the coins up and he asks you to look at it and gaze on it as if you are gazing at a mirror. If you wish to escape the suffering of old age, sickness, and death, you must first understand the nature of your own existence. That is the purpose of the Four of Pentacles. Stop! Do not go forward. Do not enter into Shangri-La. If you wish to be in heaven, if you wish to be at peace, you must stop everything and examine the nature of your own existence. Now is a time, perhaps, to hold off on major purchases and instead move towards the spiritual and move towards self-exploration and examination. All right, there you have it. Those are my predictions for you, the world, as we bravely go forward into 2025. I do hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you need to see me as a doctor, or if you need to see for a telemedicine appointment, or if you need to see me for a reading and consult, you can find all that information below this video. I see people through Zoom, telemedicine. So I'm available through Booksy. You can see that below. All right, everyone. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. Know of your goodness. You have a good heart. Feed the good inside yourself. And if you do that, everything will be okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Be well. God bless.